Pregame show.
Hello, everybody. I'm Ernie Johnson, welcoming you to the NBA on 2K Sports. Excited, thrilled to be here with. And coming right up, we'll see the Utah Jazz playing against the San Antonio Spurs. Well, for San Antonio, playing under 500 basketball over the last 10 games, they can do better, and they'll try to get on the winning side tonight. And as we come up to the midway point of the season, Kenny, we're seeing some of the veterans who started slower now picking up the pace.
Well, I think early on, a lot of times, if you've been in the playoff for some veterans, the early going in the season is a little mundane. But then as you start seeing the light at the tunnel, they don't pace themselves anymore. And you want to make sure that you're in playoff position to make something special happen at the end of the year.
Excellent use of the word mundane, by the way. How about you, Shaq?
Well, Monday, experience told me when you need to go hard and when you need to pull back. You know, the best veterans will be there when it matters the most.
That's mundane, not Monday.
Yeah,
like mundane Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday.
Got it, my bad.
Two different things.
Here's Kevin Harlan.
Basketball on 2K Sports. I'm Kevin Harlan, and here with me today, Clark Kellogg and Greg Anthony. And Rudy Gobert continues to remain sidelined with the injury.
Yeah, and they're very happy to know that he'll be back on the court soon. But I'll be interested to see how it affects their chemistry when he does come back. That's always a challenge. They've got a good thing going right now, and they've actually been playing excellent basketball without him.
I tell you what, though, Clark, those are the kinds of problems we'd all like to have. I mean, this team has been getting it done in his absence, and hopefully he can return and deliver a jolt of energy, if you will, to really maybe put them over the top.
And checking out Utah's opening lineup, Doc is out there with the monster, and it's Hayward, and it's Silk, and it's George, and at the pivot, manning the middle.
And guys, when you watch the Spurs play, it's like watching poetry in motion. I mean, every cut is some of their talents because of that style.
Well, it was the San Antonio Spurs in their last game, a loss to the Hawks in Atlanta.
Yeah, they were in a funk from the field in that game. Credit the defense, though, because even when they got open looks, no rhythm to knock them down.
Hey, guys, every team has a night like that on occasion. It happens. Hey, we call them gong games. You just want to hit the gong, forget about them, and move on.
Shot clock at 6. Off the pick and off the left side of the rim, and it swirls in for him. Lamonce's got his second bucket of the night. Now here's Parker. He's tightly guarded. Duncan, a screen, and Leonard has it in the corner. No good on the three.
And with room like that off the pick, you have got to knock that one down.
Well, you know, they did everything right, Greg. They executed. All you want is a good look at the basket. Sometimes the shots just don't fall.
Here is Doc. He gives his team some nice contributions, averaging a bit over 10 points a game. Good! Hayward's got his first bucket of the night.
Well, I think this is the start they wanted. Come out and put some points up early. 3 or 4 so far.
Leonard attacking. Again, Leonard missing. For Utah, they've gone 3 of 4 from the field to start off the game. George with no one around. No good with the triple. San Antonio's gone 1 of 2 from long range in the first quarter. Green passes to Duncan. The feed to Parker. Shoots from the elbow. That's good on the jump shot.
Could be the first of a lot of mid-range jumpers that we see from him.
Utah leading. Here's the monster. A 29-point game for him in the win against Oklahoma City.
Yeah, but Kevin, a lot of those points came at the line. I mean, he was aggressive to attack the D not settling and really did a good job of cashing in on those free throws.
That's not a sight you see very often. I mean, he has a great feel for that jump shot, especially when he's open.
Leonard attacking. And Parker gets it to go. The assist by Leonard. Parker's got 5 now.
A good open look, and he splashes home the 3.
And first quarter, we're about 3.5 minutes in. Outside, George. Out to Hayward. Lets the 3 fly. And he gets it to go. Hayward's got his second bucket.
I tell you what, guys, it's going to be a tough day on this defense if he's got the A game.
Utah with the rebound. They want one here following the win against the Thunder.
And they ran their offense nearly to perfection in that one. Very few possessions were wasted.
Yeah, they put the mute button on them that time. I mean, in front of a hostile crowd, they never let the fans get going. They silenced them over and over again with big, timely shots.
Here is Doc.
Oh, good D, but better O. It's almost as if they're just standing there.
Well said. Well, for the most part, they were just standing still, Clark.
And you know what, Kevin? He's not the most explosive player on the court, but if you give him a clear lane to the basket, he'll punch it on you.
That Kia Slam Cam replay really gave you a good look at the action.
And guys, remember, LaMarcus Aldridge last January suffering a torn ligament in his thumb, scheduled to undergo surgery and miss 2 months of the season, but he opted to tough it out and keep playing, and boy, how big was that for the Blazers.
It's rebounded by Aldridge.
I guess even he has took this one of those once in a while.
Parker, right side, and the wide open shot from Green. And that comes off the assist by Duncan. Green's got his second bucket tonight. And Aldridge postponing that thumb injury surgery, even though they said it might double his eventual recovery time.
Yeah, I think it's pretty admirable that he was out there because he wasn't just playing in pain, he was playing hurt. That shows you his commitment to winning.
And it's sent back by Aldridge. And it's out of bounds. Utah able to retain possession here. Shot clock at 5.
He's been wayward and just off on about everything he's put up in this period.
Here's the monster. Even when an opposing defense is giving him everything he can handle, he still finds a way to score. He's averaging over 33 points a game. Here is Doc. Pass to Silk. And another shot, and that's 2 points on the layup.
They are really doing a nice job establishing a presence inside early.
And watch, Clark, how the game plays out, because this is going to open things up on the perimeter.
It's Parker with the drive. Missed inside.
That's not the type of opportunity he fails to convert very often.
Hayward outside. They set the screen over to the left wing. The pass to the Monster. Uses the glass to finish the layup. The Monster's got his third basket of the night.
This has been a thriller. You cannot say enough about the way these two teams have competed.
All indications, Greg, are that this game is going down to the wire. I mean, I'd be surprised, actually shocked, if it ended any other way.
And San Antonio calls the first timeout of the game. And this game, the first chance they've had to see Utah.
And even though they're one of the top teams, they dropped the season series to this squad. So sometimes matchups play a role.
Yeah, sometimes matchups do, but I don't think they're interested in looking at that. They want to come back strong and show they're the better team this time around.
Some changes here for the Spurs. David West, he's checked in for Duncan. And it's Ginobili in for Green. Utah also making some changes. Lyle comes in for Silk. Rodney Hood subbed in for Doc. Now here's Ginobili. He's coming off a 31-point game against the Hawks in Atlanta.
Yeah, but he was the ultimate two-way player. Defensively, also doing a great job. A couple blocks in that game as well.
And for LaMarcus Aldridge, always praised for his terrific shooting. His rebounding, as we know, Greg, has always been fantastic. Over the past 2 seasons, he's averaged double-digit boards.
And that's why so many teams wanted him in this last free agency period. His ability to put points on the board as well as clean the boards. What a deadly combination.
Now here's Hayward. We saw him with 19 points his last outing. Here's George, and he dumps it down. Guys, what a tight start to the game this has been.
You know what? Can you believe there have been 7 lead changes already, guys?
Wow.
And it's still in the first half. This could be a wild one.
Parker dishes to Aldridge. Foul call that time on the way up. That'll give him 2 chances at the free throw line here.
You know, on the topic of Aldridge's rebounding, I mean, he doesn't do it by banging people around. He does it with positioning, timing, and length. And you can say that about most of his game. Quietly, effective, and impactful.
And guys, going back to Aldridge, last season was a difficult one for him. He had the torn ligament in his left thumb, but still fought through it to become the Blazers' all-time leader in rebounds. And it's just hard to imagine the Spurs without Coach Popovich on the sidelines. He's the longest tenured coach in the NBA and has done so much for this team. Easily one of the best coaches in the history of our league.
And that's good as he hits both of his shots. And Greg, you know, for Popovich being with the Spurs for so long, since 1996, Clark, he is actually the longest tenured coach in all of sports right now.
Amazing, Kevin, and he's done it through winning. I mean, the 3rd fastest coach ever to get to 1,000 wins. You compare his numbers with any coach in any sport, and they stack up as Hall of Fame caliber.
Good, can't get it to go.
Rebounding is going to be the focal point for them in this one, fellas. I can feel it.
It always is, and it has been so far, and they've gotten a nice edge on the glass. I tell you what, it's almost like stealing to watch how he plays the game from this seat.
Doris Burke has an update for us. Doris?
Now, a short time ago, I had a chance to catch up with Greg Popovich. This is the first meeting between these 2 teams this year, but he knows the drill defensively. Keep them out of the lane. He said they're tough to deal with when you let them get to the rim. We've got to move our feet and do our best to deny that penetration. Kevin, easier said than done.
Thanks again, Doris. Spurs leading by. Utah's gone just 1 of 4 from 3-point range here in the first. Hayward outside. There's the pick. Down low, off the tip, and down it goes. Dunked through off a wonderful assist.
Man, can you always depend on him or what to lead you to the right place with that pass? Money.
Aldridge is free. Here's West, and it's blocked, but he recovers it. Utah shooting 47% here so far. Here's Ingles, looking for his first basket still in this one. Hayward passes to Ingles. Back to Hayward. Jacks up a 3, and he gets the bucket. Hayward's got a pair of 3s now in the first quarter for Utah. Clarky talked about a back-and-forth game. This is the definition of that.
Yeah, no doubt about it, Kevin. I mean, not even through the first half, and it's been one heck of a battle.
You have to love these kinds of games, scoring-wise, keeping everybody on their toes.
Now, here's Mills. A look at his stats. He averages a bit over 8 points a game. Passes it to Ingles. Here's Lyles. Nice ball movement by Utah. There's the pick. Hood dishes to Ingles. He feeds it to Hayward. Shoots the 3. It's rebounded by West.
Kevin, just enough presence to bother that three-point attempt there.
Yeah, but for a guy that shoots it as well as he does, I'd say that is an easy look.
Now, here's Mills. A 3-ball. Denied for the 3rd time. He's 0 for 3. Utah's gotten just 2 of 6 to fall from 3-point range so far in the first. 1:31 left to play in the first quarter. There's Lyles. Back That's his second shot and his second basket. He's 2 for 2.
And good passing, setting up a lot of these buckets right now, Kevin. That's been the key.
Dime-dropping delights is what I call it.
That is a nice pass. I will give you that one.
Yeah, he was on the money, that's no doubt.
Just not happy with how his team is playing, and they just have been on the wrong side of this run.
Yeah, and you know what, Greg? Sometimes just a pause in the action, which is what a timeout can give you, is enough to change things around.
San Antonio calls timeout. He's checked in for LaMarcus Aldridge. And a switcher also for Utah. Will Bridenour is checked in for Gordon Hayward. San Antonio with the ball. 4-point game. And Mills kicks to Anderson. Shot to stop the drop. And he sinks that one in the back of the rim on the way in. Utah shooting well right out of the gates here at around 50%. Pass to Lyles. There's 49 seconds left in the first quarter. Hood can't get it to go.
And if the shot's not there, you've got to understand that. Move the basketball.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm not quite sure what his mindset or what he was thinking there. I mean, that was just a...
And here's Anderson for 3. No good. And it's Utah the other way. Now Ridnour. 1 second separating the shot clock in game time. Shot from the wing. The pass to Lyles. Another shot. Hits some rim on the way in, and the bucket's good. Lyles got 6.
Yeah, that's asking a lot from that defender.
Yeah, it certainly is. I mean, he just doesn't have the size to really be effective in that kind of matchup.
And that does it for the first quarter. Utah leads by 4. And we'll be back with you for the start of the second quarter when we return. And a chance to hear from Tony Parker, who said he lives for the challenge of continuing to improve.
I always try to improve and get better, and Pop always challenged me. He came to me and he said, you know, good players, they can have a great season, but great players, they have many great seasons. So he said, what you want to be?
And in Tony Parker's case, great is what he wanted to be and has been for a long time.
You know, that's great because that shows Pops and why. Remember when he first came on the scene, it was not a cakewalk for him. He had his struggles, and now we're talking about a guy who's going to be in the Hall of Fame.
And the first quarter is in the books. Second about ready to get underway. Hey, guys, what's your take on Utah so far?
You can tell the point of emphasis has been to get to the offensive glass.
Yep, and they've set the tone here early with the hustle they've come out with.
And a chance here presented by Gatorade to see who's on the floor. All fueled up and ready to go for the start of the second quarter. So on the floor for Utah. They've got Thunder. Lyles out there with Silk. Then there's the Monster. And it's Doc in at the 2. So it's San Antonio now after the basket by Utah.
Yeah, just a solid job on the backboard. They are really controlling the inside.
Well, they're working the glass, really battling in that area of the game. It's helped them take this lead.
And for David West last season, the thought was he might increase his production with Paul George out, but the opposite happened. West suffered his lowest scoring output in a decade. Only 12 points per game on 47% shooting. Rough showing for the former All-Star.
shooting 2.
He's off on the first. Well, Greg, getting back to West, even though his scoring was down, his playmaking was up. You were talking about that. Clark, 3.5 assists a game last season, by far the highest number of his career.
Yeah, one of the very best pros I've ever been around. He's very smart. He's tough. He's all about team. And, you know, he makes things happen. Impacts winning in a lot of ways. And those assist totals indicate that.
Here's the monster. Passes it to Don.
Get the easy 2, for sure, 2. No need to make it fancy or special.
And here in the second with about a minute and a half gone by. And no good to start the night, missing his first attempt there. In the corner, it's Hayward from outside the arc. Looks good, is good. Bucket number 4 from the field. He's taken only 6 shots.
And at the offensive end, he's done about as much as they could have hoped for today.
It's Parker with the drive. No good for the 5th time from the floor this game. He's made 2 shots.
And they continue to control the glass.
Guys, I think they've simply been the more physical team, and that's why they're ahead.
The monster passes to Silk. Pocket 6. Fires top of the key. Green with the block. Parker up top. 5 points in the game. That is good. Quarter 2 and just under 2.5 minutes gone by. Pass to Silk. From deep. That is good. Silk's got his 3rd bucket of the night. Spurs trail by 9. It's Parker with the drive. And it's Parker again missing.
You know, he just hasn't looked right to me. A bit out of sorts, if you will. Something's off with his mechanics, at least as I look at it.
And Hayward gets it to go.
All these open threes they're giving up have really been the driving force of this run.
And the points are starting to add up in a hurry, especially when you're giving up those looks from deep.
And you know, Gordon Hayward was involved in one of the more fascinating NBA draft stories. It started after his father confirmed that Gordon would submit his name to the draft but would not immediately hire an agent.
Yeah, reportedly Dad created a highly detailed 2-page questionnaire that he gave prospective agents, which is not something that's typical.
San Antonio calls timeout.
And on the topic of Hayward hiring an agent, it was reported that the questionnaire was just the beginning and that prospective agents also went through quite a grilling. In addition to that, you talk about a thorough process.
Here's what San Antonio's going with right now. LaMarcus Aldridge, he's checked in for West, and Ray McCallum subbed in for Anderson. Ripped away. Here's the monster. And again, it's Utah.
You know, one aspect of their play today that's really been tight and far superior is their passing.
And that kind of flow can be elusive, but the great offenses have it, and that's just what they've shown here tonight.
Here's Parker after the basket by Utah. There's a screen. The dish to Duncan. Looking to end the run and fouled hard that time. He'll get to the line and shoot 2.
You know, back to Hayward, obviously his first NBA contract was subject to the rookie wage scale, but his second contract, 4-year max deal. So whatever the Haywards have done as far as agent vetting, it's paid off.
And a moment here to take a look at the scoring breakdown for Utah.
And so far, these guys have done a fantastic job finding the open man and getting some easy baskets.
They've also gotten into a nice rhythm from the three-point line early on tonight.
And no good on the second free throw, so he goes 0 for 2 there. And guys, Tim Duncan still dominant after 18 years. You know, he's reshaped his body. He has gotten a brand new diet, which he says has had a huge benefit. We saw in the playoffs last year, Greg, I think, he probably was one of the top 5 overall performers in last year's playoffs.
No doubt about it. We continue to write this guy off, Kevin, and he just continues to defy Father Time. I mean, there was a point where he was starting to feel the wear and tear, especially in his knees, but being the competitor he is, he decided to dictate to his body rather than letting his body dictate to him.
And it's Utah's ball. They're on a 13-5 run here. Over to the wing. Here is Doc. He gives his team some nice contributions, averaging a bit over 10 points a game. And he's able to get it back. Hayward can't hit. Spurs trail by 12. Outside, Green. Feeds to Parker. Here's McCallum, and the rebound paying off as they pick up 2 on the second chance bucket right there.
Really nice job to convert the putback opportunity there. I mean, he stayed with that play from start to finish. That's something we say about him a lot.
And a first time out of the game called for Utah.
You can tell he's in a lot of pain. They'll take a timeout so that trainer can help him out.
Utah leading by 10. Here's the monster. 8 points for him. Here's Silk. Another miss by Utah.
Oh, boy, I tell you what, they don't get much uglier than the quarter he's having.
Yeah, and it's not showing any signs, Greg, of turning around here soon. I mean, this touch is basically gone AWOL.
For Utah, they've gone 5 of 12 from the field here in the second. To the inside. Parker with the steal. In transition. Here come the Spurs. And with that, the Utah lead is cut down now to just 8 points with the basket from McCallum.
That's really how they're going to get back into this game, trim the lead. I mean, play tough defense, force some turnovers, and then push it to the other end.
And Clark, those steals allow you to play in the open floor.
Here is Doc. Outside, George. Just 5 on the clock. And the pass to the monster. Offline with his 3. And San Antonio shooting 36% in the second quarter. They really haven't found their rhythm yet offensively. No problem knocking that one down. And now it's only a 5-point Utah lead.
Boy, they've gone on this run, and ball movement has been a big key.
It really has, Mark. The defense unable to react as quickly as necessary in terms of dealing with the pass.
Here's the monster. Pass it to Doc. Here's the monster. Here's Silk, covered by Parker. Pass to Doc. Here's the monster. It is flushed down with a nice jam.
And how about a little bit of showmanship there as he increases the lead?
Oh, I like that. That's got to be, though, a tough pill for the defense to swallow.
Well, he's a guy that you know can hurt you with his passing. And right there, he does some damage with his finishing, too.
You know, the defense has got to do a much better job of fighting over those screens.
And, Greg, especially when the ball is in his hands. I mean, come on now. You know, he doesn't miss too many open looks like that.
Here's the monster. He's got 10. He kicks it to George. Hayward outside. Leans from outside. Here's the monster. Lands soft on the front of the rim and drops. The Monster's got 6 here in this quarter.
And he should thank the team for those 2 points. Nobody paid much attention to him on that play.
Parker drives in. Another miss by Parker.
He's having a tough quarter scoring the basketball, unable to help them close this gap.
Here's the monster. 12 points for him. Hayward passes to the monster. Here's Silk, covered by Parker. It's tipped. Here's McCallum. Kicks to Green. Dishes it to Parker. Spurs passing it around. Aldridge misses.
That's the kind of D you need when he's got the ball near the hoop. They were all over.
Here's the monster. Outside, George. Down to 5 on the shot clock. Pulls it from the elbow. And again, it's Utah. Parker with it. He has 7. Clark, some tough offensive sets. They want to turn it around.
Yeah, they need a basket just to regain some momentum here, Kevin.
And they get it back. That one goes. Count. Utah with the ball. They've led by as many as 14 points. The basket Silk. Shoots. That doesn't go either for George. Spurs trail by 7. A floater. That's good. McCallum's got 6 here in this quarter.
And he has really come to life here after a slow start in that first quarter.
Passes it to Silk. He dishes it to Hayward. Here's Silk. Aldridge is covering. Good. 9 points for Silk.
They're earning their points with the jump shot now.
And that's right, Clark. 6 of their last 10 have come from the mid-range.
Parker drives in and misses it off the right side of the rim.
You know, he's been off his game this quarter just a bit. Hasn't been able to get a whole lot to go so far.
Here's the monster. 12 points for him. Parker outside. 13 feet away. And another shot. And it's sent back by George. Here's Hayward. Beautiful jam.
And this sort of awesome dunk is one of the reasons this team is in charge of this game right now.
Clark, there is a swagger out here on the court that they possess and are not afraid to show it either.
That's right.
I tell you what, used to love to go up and jam like that.
And a foul called on the shot. Got him on the way up that time, so he'll shoot 2 right here.
Looking at the game for the monster, 12 points and 1 rejection in this game, too.
And was it a good one? Really, one of their highlights of the game defensively.
And he's got his first free throw of the game. The first one falls. So San Antonio goes with a fresh 5 on the floor. So Utah going with an almost entirely new group here. Portis, he's checked in for George. Isle comes in for Silk. Joe Ingles, he's checked in for Gordon Hayward. Rodney Hood subbed in for Dow. So he gets them both. 1:44 left here in the second. Hit by West. Here's Mills. Leonard on the wing. He's coming off a 10-point game against Atlanta.
And he also controlled the backboard as well. I mean, he really did a terrific job.
The monster passes to Hood. And a miss there on the triple. Clark Wiles, one of the many great players to come out of Kentucky and be eligible for this draft. He didn't wow as much as his teammates. I'm telling you what, he can play.
He's got a lot of game. He's actually one of my sleepers, Kevin, because he can do everything well. He can handle it. He goes both ways. He can shoot it. He defends. Really good IQ. I like this guy as being a surprise producer as an NBA player.
Here's the monster after the made shot from Mono Ginobili. The feed to Ingles. Pass to the monster. There's the pick. Here's the 3. Can't get it to go. So the Spurs will take it the other way.
And guys, with Wiles playing out of position can be a blessing and a curse. I mean, he didn't get to play in his comfort zone and put up big numbers, but his skill set grew from the minutes he had to spend outside of that comfort zone.
Here's the monster. It's 9 seconds separating the shot clock and game clock. Pass to Wiles. 6 on the shot clock. Utah needs to get off a shot here. Rebound, Kawhi Leonard. And here's Mills. Ginobili just for two. The clock runs out, and we're heading to halftime. Utah out in front. They're up by 9. And now let's catch up with Doris Burke, who's standing by on the sideline. Doris?
Coach, you're going to have to climb a bit of a hill here in the second half. What are you telling your guys they need to do to turn this thing around?
I think we just moved the ball a little bit. We were just on the dribble a little bit too much, and we've got a lot of pressure out there, so the ball's got to move.
Coach, thanks for the time. Gentlemen, back to you at the table.
Thank you, Doris, for that interview, and we'll see you back here after the break for the third quarter of basketball.
And now, the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Welcome back, everybody. It's the 2K Sports Halftime Show. Ernie Johnson along with Kenny the Jet Smith and Shaquille O'Neal. Gordon Hayward has been all over the floor tonight. He had 16 points, 4 rebounds, and 2 assists. First 2 quarters from him were fun to watch. How about you, Shaq? What did you think about Utah?
They had a focus to working inside, and it's working, Ernie. They've done a great job of recognizing mismatches, a.k.a. barbecue chicken down low, taking advantage. He can't guard that man down there, Ernie. The entry passes have been sharp, and it's led to a lot of points. When you control the paint, you control the game, and they've done that so far.
And over to Kenny. What did you think about the Spurs?
They need to look into areas where they can gain an advantage. Rebounding is largely a hustle stat. Right now, they're getting out-rebounded. They need to commit to changing that. Those extra opportunities afforded by better rebounding are key for them to win tonight.
And now, folks, it's just about time for the third quarter to begin. We will see you after the final buzzer.
Now the third quarter about to get going.
Looking at the game for Hayward, he's got 16 points, and he's added to his numbers by hitting 4 shots from the three-point line.
And really now you can tell. Starting to have second thoughts in terms of how they're going to play him. That's 12 points from long range.
Here's Parker. Parker and Green with a guard pairing. Ducking out there with LaMarcus Aldridge. And it's Leonard in at the 3. And that's who's in the game for the Spurs. Aldridge is swing. Got the 4. The offensive rebound. So he gets the whistle. Contact on the way up and 2 shots coming up. Well, when you think of the great playmakers in league history, John Stockton per game averaged double-digit dimes. Look at this for his career. 15,806 career assists. A record you knew right off would stand for a very long time.
And guys, you know, you look up point guard in the dictionary, and there's a nice little picture of John Stockton there. I mean, he is an unreal distributor. Controlled the game like no one ever has before or since. It's no coincidence that Utah never missed the playoffs in any of the 19 seasons that John Stockton was at the helm.
Off on that one, so he goes 1 for 2 at the line.
A slight advantage for them in the rebound department, but that oftentimes is all it takes.
Especially, Greg, when you're scoring the ball at a decent clip the way they have. I mean, they've done exactly what's necessary to take the lead.
They set the pick. Hayward goes in, and so he earns a trip to the line. Officials on the contact, and he'll shoot 2.
You know, there are those who wonder if Gordon Hayward can lead a team to the promised land. However, as just a sophomore, he led a non-powerhouse college to a championship game. So, in fact, they were just 1 basket away from winning it all.
Beats them both. Going back to Hayward, he took that buzzer-beating half-court shot, Clark, that would have won his favorite championship. You actually called that game, and it did hit the backboard and rim, but unfortunately did not go in.
Well, Hayward's the kind of guy who's willing to put his team on his back and try to carry him. He's willing to take that responsibility on. Whether he can deliver at the highest level, time will tell.
A long time in San Antonio, it's been about the big three, and rightfully so with all their wins, and Kawhi Leonard seems to be their future.
And Kawhi and the big three recognize that and are trying to ease the transition period. And if you know the Spurs, they'll make a smooth transition, won't they, Kevin?
Absolutely.
And guys, for Kawhi Leonard and the Spurs, Coach Popovich already sees him as the next guy. He told Leonard not to think of the big three, but to think of himself as the big one. And guys, with what Popovich said about Leonard, small things like that can be the catalyst to get a player to reach greatness. Sooner or later, this will be Kawhi's team.
Well, that was a thing of beauty by Parker.
Utah leading by 6. Hayward goes in. Here's Silk. The basket good off the assist from Hayward. Hayward's got 3 assists now in this one. The Spurs shooting around 40% from the floor here. Parker dishes to Green. Parker outside. He feeds it to Aldridge from 15 feet away. Rebound, Utah. They've led by as many as 14 points. The dish to George. Here's the monster, covered by Parker. The monster passes to George. In the corner, it's Hayward. Shoots it up. Off the left rim and out.
Yeah, but the hand in the face is critical that you contest his shots every time down the floor.
Now, here's Leonard. He's making his presence felt offensively with his scoring average up there at almost 13 points a game. He sinks the 11-footer. Leonard's got his second basket of the night.
And when he gets in his head that he's going to get to the basket, very little you can do defensively.
Kawhi Leonard, with another great season last year, earned his first Defensive Player of the Year award with his outstanding play.
And for Leonard, he became the first perimeter player to win one since 2004. That just shows you how incredible his defense was at times.
Utah calls timeout.
And, you know, for Leonard, you can add that Defensive Player of the Year award to his hardware list, and that puts him in elite company, one of only 3 players to win Defensive Player of the Year and Finals MVP. The other 2, Jordan and Olajuwon.
A touch over 2.5 minutes of basketball played here in the third quarter. Here's the monster. He's got 14. Outside, George. Out to the wing. 6 to shoot. The 8-footer. Foul call that time on the way up. That'll give him 2 chances at the free throw line here.
And for Leonard, winning the Defensive Player of the Year didn't change him at all. I mean, he received a car for winning that award and gave it to charity. Went out of his way to thank his teammates during his acceptance speech. I mean, I think it speaks of his character and really the impact that Popovich has had on him and that entire Spurs team.
And good on the second, so he makes them both.
Here we go, San Antonio!
San Antonio calls timeout. Gordon Hayward with another strong contribution so far in this one.
He's dialed in from long range. They got to stay in his hip pocket and deny him the catch.
Spurs trail by 8. Parker outside. Aldridge a screen. Parker kicks to Green. Right side Aldridge. 5 to shoot. Off target on the 15-footer.
And that's a well-contested shot.
Well, we've seen him before. He does not allow you to just get easy baskets. He's always going to make you work for it.
And he gets it to go.
And just a little bit ragged defensively there, Clark.
For San Antonio, they've gone 2 of 5 shooting here in the third quarter. And it's Green missing.
It's a +5 advantage for them in the rebounding category after that board.
Very steady with their...
Oh, my goodness. He's just getting nasty on them now. Wow.
Yeah, now that they've built up a lead, this is when he really breaks out those incredibly slick moves.
Man, like a Ginsu knife, just slicing and dicing.
That was a nice replay brought to you by Kia. First trip to the free throw line for him tonight. And so he hits the technical free throw.
The story in the first half was their low free throw percentage. They've corrected that here in the second half, and hopefully they can build on it as this game continues to progress.
And Utah making a change here. Ridnour's checked in. Here's Aldridge. Rebound, Utah. They've led by as many as 14 points. Green against Ridnour. Outside, George from about 19 feet. And there's the whistle. Fouled hard on the shot. He'll go to the line. Tim Duncan picks one up.
Well, you know, we're far enough away from the 2013 draft where we can start to get a feel for just how strong it was. I mean, initial feeling was it was a weak draft, but there have been some gems coming out of it of late.
First one falls for him. And for the 2013 draft class, not sure if there are going to be a lot of all-stars from that class, but there are quite a bit of rotational players that are effective.
And Kevin, listen, there's still a chance to see a couple of all-stars emerge from the class, as there are some elite talents that just need time to grow. And overall, there weren't too many complete misses. Almost every lottery pick is a rotation player at this point.
Parker, and fouled hard that time. He'll get to the line and shoot two.
And how good a playmaker has Tony Parker been? One of the best in recent history. The all-time leader in assists for the Spurs over his 14 years there. Just a crafty guy with the ball in his hand.
And continuing our talk of Tony Parker, the first year he laced up his sneakers, he increased the tempo for that entire Spurs offense, and it continues to this day.
Yeah, and the increase in floor spacing and tempo, a big reason the Admiral, Tim Duncan, and Parker won the championship together in 2003, and obviously Duncan and Parker have won a few more rings since then.
And so last season for Tony Parker, something of a shift. I mean, he was solid, but injuries cost him a few games. He also had his lowest assists and points per game totals since his rookie year, but he fought through like the champion that he is.
Aldridge is screen. Over to the left wing. That's good, and it's Leonard with the assist. 17 points for Aldridge.
I mean, he was great in his last game, Clark, and clearly he has not lost that love and feel.
Last year, a big challenge for Tony Parker. He was in his 14th season, obviously. Every great player needs to transform his game as he gets on in age, Clark. We've seen it with the great ones. Parker did put up the highest three-point percentage of his career last year.
And he also ran the offense with tremendous poise and professionalism and cut down the turnover average as well, the lowest of his career. Now that's finishing your work right there.
Powerful two-hand jam, you're right.
And I tell you what, if he's got a few more of those, this lead will start shrinking even further.
Ridnour passes to Sid. They set the pick at the top of the key. Hayward. Here's Silk. From outside, off the mark.
He just has not been able to get into that groove yet, guys, but as a whole, it hasn't affected them too much.
Gets it down to single digits. 17 points for LaMarcus Aldridge.
Crisp pass into the paint.
Utah leading by 8. And there's the pass to Silk. Looking to get it going, and he lays it up and in. Silk's got 13.
And those are the kinds of plays that are just killing them right now.
Parker kicks to Duncan, feeds it to Leonard. Duncan with a screen on Hayward. Back to Duncan. Kept alive.
That's one he knows he should have drained.
Here is Doc. The three from George. That's good. George has got 8 points here in this quarter.
And when you've got a big man who can shoot from distance like that, what a huge advantage.
It's Parker with the drive. It's deflected. They get it back. And with that, the Utah lead is cut down to 11 on the bucket from Duncan. For Utah, they've gone 7 of 10 on their field goal attempts here in the third. Passes it to Silk. Tries it from 19. From the stripe. A tad short, but it's good off the front iron. Silk's got 15.
He's having quite the quarter here, guys. I mean, shooting the ball extremely well.
Parker kicks to Leonard. And another basket for San Antonio. Now Ridnour. There's the pick. To the middle. Here's Silk. And a foul called on the shot. Got him on the way up that time, so he'll shoot 2 right here.
Check out the game for Silk. 8 rebounds, and he was able to come up with 1 steal, too.
You know what? He's been a difference maker defensively today, Clark. He's disrupted more plays than the stat sheet will show.
The first free throw is good.
They're doing a better job of working themselves to the line here in the second half.
This is how you do it. That's exactly how you do it. Defender pressing up on you, you press right back.
Here's what San Antonio's going with right now. West is checked in for Duncan. Kyle Anderson comes in for LaMarcus Aldridge. Manu Ginobili's checked in for Green. And it's Mills in for Parker. Ginobili outside. He kicks to Leonard. And it's Leonard again missing.
With the success they've had rebounding the basketball, they're right where you'd expect them to be, firmly in control of this game.
And no doubt about it, rebounding is an effort stat, folks. They've been more determined than their opponent thus far.
Shot clock at 6. From 15 feet away to the wing right side. Goes up again, and that's good for 2. 19 points for Silk.
As hot as he's been this quarter, the game plan is simple, folks. Get him the ball and get out of the way.
Here's Ginobili. Got a hand on it. That's tipped. Utah leading by 15. Here's Silk. 19 points in the game. There's a good screen. Kicks it to Hood. Here's Silk, covered by Mills. Here's Silk. It's rebounded by Leonard. Leonard's got his 4th rebound with that last one here tonight. Clark, they've been struggling here on offense.
Yeah, a little bit of cottonmouth here. Dry spell for sure.
No one covering. Leonard's got 10 points in the game.
And you know what? He's shaking off the cold shooting performance from the first half.
Pass to Silk. Dishes to Hood. Takes a 3. And Utah another 3.
Perfect screen there. Set him up with a terrific look.
Yeah, I like the fact that the setup was good, the screen was solid, but you also have to look at the fact that the defender didn't do his job as well as he could have.
He operates well in traffic, but still, that's just a tough play to finish.
All sorts of time. There's the feed to Ingles. Pass to Wiles. He dishes it to Hood. Here's Portis. So the whistle blows on the shot and 2 free throws for the contact right there.
And a look now at our 2K leaderboard to see which wingmen have come away with the most steals over the past month. The fourth spot held by Kawhi Leonard.
I mean, if you're an opposing small forward, this could also be called a list of the league's most annoying players. I mean, they will be in your jersey all night when you're up against them.
Greg, they are an elite group of defenders. I mean, they don't just make it difficult for opposing small forwards. They pester entire teams with their activity, jumping in the passing lanes, being active with their hands and feet. Very impressive defensively.
The Monsters checked in for Utah. And so he hits both. Spurs trail by 18. We've got 1:48 left in the third quarter. Leonard draws the double. He feeds it to Ginobili. Off the pick. Outside Leonard. Shot clock at 5. Another miss by Leonard.
They have been board dominant in this game. That's definitely been a factor in crafting this huge lead.
And it's been a well-rounded performance. I mean, strong rebounding has certainly been at the center of it, but it's been good on a number of levels.
And you really thought that was going to be a gimme, but unable to convert.
Yeah, and a little self-talk, angry self-talk for himself after that miss.
West with the ball. Taking a look at his stats, he's averaging around 9.5 points a game. Can't hit. And it's Utah the other way. Here's the Monster. There's 45 seconds left in the third quarter. Now the pass to Portis. It's stolen by West. Ginobili dishes to Anderson. Outside Leonard. Clock at 6. To the wing on the left. Mills, that's a two-pointer. And the shot no good, a bit short.
Well, I think he had all the space he needed. He just couldn't find the bottom of the net.
Here's the Monster. He's got 16. Pulls it up. He got it up that time, but it wouldn't fall for him. And here at the end of the third quarter, it's a double-digit ball game. Utah out in front. They finish off the third quarter with a massive 16-6 run. Live from the AT&T Center in San Antonio, you're watching 2K Sports. And thanks again for joining us. Let's see what happens here in the fourth. Here's the Monster. And Utah looking at who they've got to start the fourth quarter. Hayward out there with Lyons. And it's Thunder. And there's the Monster. And it's Hood in at the two-guard spot.
Well, there you go. I mean, if they're going to keep giving up open jumpers, they're going to keep getting them.
It's Parker with the drive. Here's Aldridge. And it's good on the assist by Parker. Parker's got his 8th assist here tonight.
Kevin, he's in a bright spot in what's otherwise been a little bit of a struggle for this team.
The Monster passes to Hood. Here's the Monster. Here's Hayward. Rebound San Antonio. Aldridge has got 6 rebounds in the game. Looking to end his cold spell. Here's the Monster. He's covered by Leonard. There's the dish to Hayward. To the paint. Hood, the pass to the Monster. Outside, George. And Utah, another 3. And a chance now to catch up on some numbers here. The hustle stats for Utah.
You know, block shots, guys, a clear indicator on the stat sheet of their excellent defense. I mean, leaving them no room to get off any shots.
And also, guys, they take a lot of pride in their ability to rebound the basketball, especially on the offensive end.
George with the screen on Parker. Here's Hood. There's 3-pointers off the mark. Spurs trail by 21. Ginobili kicks to Parker. So he gets the whistle. Contact on the way up, and 2 shots coming up.
We've seen LaMarcus Aldridge getting it done. He's got 21 points and 2 blocks. Excellent defensive presence on the glass and delivering some of that shot blocking skill, too.
He has really just owned the paint. Well-rounded performance.
And that one falls for LaMarcus Aldridge. And for Manu Ginobili last season, not his best. Down in every measurable category since his rookie year. He's 37, myriad of injuries. You know, but Greg, there's still something so special about that player.
Yeah, I mean, so much of his game is about movement. And Kevin, after 13 full seasons and factoring all of the international competition, you're going to have to start to show some wear and tear, and that's been the case for Manu.
Excellent point. He played 4 pro years overseas before the NBA. The offensive rebound. Pass to the monster. 2nd minute off the clock now in the 4th. And he uses the glass on the layup.
And an open path to the hoop there. Easy bucket. We've seen that far too many times today.
Parker outside. From 11 feet away. And yep, up it bounces and it falls.
Well, there's not a whole lot you can do about that move. That's just good offense. They were all over him, and he still managed to drain.
Here's the monster. Leonard brings the double team. Hayward passes to the monster. He got an advantage there off the pick and took it right in. The monster's got 4 points now in the quarter. Spurs trail by 21. Parker dishes to Aldridge. Ball stolen. And here comes the break. Here's the monster. And he jams it with authority.
How's that for a quick possession?
Yeah, no hesitation at all taking that one to the basket. Beautifully done.
Parker kicks to Leonard. Feeds it to Duncan. And a little off that time, but it drops. Here's the monster.
And it seems every season we see a player try and play through an injury. Sometimes it provides a boost with heroics, but it can lead to serious damage long term. It's a common practice we see, and some guys are pretty cavalier about it.
Parker passes to Leonard. And out of bounds as Utah gains possession.
No clue where that pass was going. That is a brutal turnover.
Silks checked in for Utah. Utah leading by 21. Greg, a lot of NBA players do play through injury. Last year, for instance, LaMarcus Aldridge played most of the regular season with a thumb injury that required surgery. Mike Conley, Clark Kellogg, we saw in the postseason play with the mask with a facial fracture.
Yeah, and it's hard to make a blanket statement if it's good or bad for guys to do that. You just hope the player heeds the doctor's advice and doesn't do any further damage by playing injured.
For Utah, they've gotten into a pretty good groove, going 6 of 10 here in the final quarter. And he gets it to go. Silks got 14 points here in the second half.
A one-man show offensively, and that's almost always good news for his team.
There's the bucket. Good. And it's 13 points for Parker.
Really aggressive play there, taking it to the rack against the big fella.
You know, Greg, aggressiveness is really the only option when you're on the wrong side of the size equation.
And the foul called on Thunder. And that'll be his 3rd foul so far.
They're forcing the ball inside, and it's working beautiful.
It really is. 5 out of 6 of their last field goals have come from the paint.
Here's what Utah's going with right now. Portis, he's checked in for Silk. Felton comes in for Doc. And Luke Rittenauer subbed in for the Monster. Here's McCallum. They kick it out to Green. And a kind roll that time off the rim as that one falls.
There you go again. A nice kick out after the D had collapsed on it.
You know, one thing we saw a lot of last season during the playoffs was the Hack-a-Shack plan, pretty much purposely fouling a poor free throw shooter. A lot of differing opinions on it, as it wasn't fun to watch for the viewers, but many feel it's a legitimate part of the game if it works.
Utah calls timeout. The Hack-a-Shack or the Hack-a-Jordan or the Hack-a-whatever being the focus of the playoffs last season. We saw it up close and personal. It opened up a debate, Greg, on whether or not it should be allowed. What do you think?
You know, it's a touchy subject. I remember last summer, or spring, I should say, the commissioner touched upon it. You know, one of the concerns is, do you want to change a rule for an entire league when it basically affects 2 players? And so it's something that you got to be sensitive to. But to your point, the fans don't want to see that ugly style of basketball.
It's boring. Slows the game down. A different look for Utah. Lyles checked in for George. Doc comes in for Gordon Hayward. And Stockton subbed in for Luke Ridnow. And here's Stockton. Pass to Lyles. There's a screen. Pass to Portis. No one near Felton as he lets it go. Another miss by Utah. The Spurs have gone 5 of 8 shooting as we've come down the home stretch in this final quarter. The drive by Green to the paint. Here's Duncan. And the layup is good.
And since halftime, he has been a different player.
Utah leading by 21. Now here's Stockton. He kicks to Felton. The pass to Portis. Good. And a nice assist from Felton. Now Parker kicks it to left. Can't get it to go. And it's Utah the other way. Here is Doc.
And around the NBA, there are some who want to redo how the NBA lottery works. They feel it punishes teams for trying at the end of the season and instead rewards others who maybe aren't doing as well.
That's good. Parker with him. Dishes it to Aldridge. Shot, no good. Utah's gone 1 of 2 from 3-point range here in the 4th. Outside Felton. Lyles passes to Doc. The feed now to Stockton. Lets it go from deep. San Antonio with the rebound. Aldridge has got his 7th rebound here tonight. Parker against Stockton. And Tony Parker gets the 3.
First 3 of the half, second of the game. Can he heat up?
Utah leading by 22. Passes it to Portis. Right wing. Here's Lyles. The shot no good. Some solid defense from Aldridge. Parker kicks to Green. Down low. Knocks it loose. And now Utah, fast break. Nice shot by Felton.
8 of the last 10 points at that end of the court have been scored on very high percentage shots in the paint.
And really, there is no resistance defensively right now. It is just far too easy.
There's Green with the 3. It's rebounded by Portis.
You know what, though? Sometimes you can be too open. I think it may have surprised him, and that's why he missed.
They set the pick. The dish to Stockton.
It's still pretty early to judge, but so far the 2014 draft class has lived up to the hype. The top guys were as good as promised, and a lot of talent down later in the draft as well.
For San Antonio, they've gone 7 of 13 from the field here in the 4th. Nobody near Leonard. No good on the shot, a bit long that time.
And he has slipped into a funk, Clark. You can see the confidence is shaken.
Yeah, it really is. I mean, he's very much deflated. The basket looks a lot smaller to him at this point, and the only way you can get out of it is to work yourself out of it.
Clock at 4. Feeds to Felton. This one for 3, and that one's good. Felton has got 5 points now this quarter. With the 2014 draft class, Clark, it was so hyped up, a lot of teams probably didn't care that they were losing some games at the end of the year as they themselves were testing some younger players on their roster.
Yeah, I agree with you wholeheartedly there. And you look at the guys from that class, many of them have star potential.
Pass to Portis. Oh, and that one had the right spin on it, and it is good.
They're doing a really good job of getting the ball inside and attacking the paint. That's an area they have completely dominated.
Well, once they recognized the advantage they had inside, it made a lot of sense just to continue to attack that area.
And for Raymond Felton, last year was nothing short of a disaster. Missed the first 31 games with an ankle injury sustained in preseason, and he played for a poor team. And things, you know, Greg, being the leader, the ball handler like you were, they just never got much better for Felton as the season went on.
Yeah, the problem when you have that issue early on, the season isn't going to wait for you.
Right.
You know, you're basically in catch-up mode, and so because of that, he never got into any kind of a rhythm when he was available to play. And that's not surprising, given that he averaged less than 10 minutes a game for the season after averaging 33 a game for his entire career.
Hood can't get it to go.
And it's just one of those days, guys. He has just struggled to shoot the basketball.
And Patrick Mills gets that whistle that time. That is his first foul of the game. McCallum, he's checked in for the Spurs. Here is Stockton. Here's Hood. Another miss by Utah.
You know, getting back to Raymond Felton, it looked at one point like he would become the league's next great playmaker. Drafted 5th overall in 2005, immediately after Darren Williams and Chris Paul. Felton never quite reached the stratosphere of his fellow draftees.
Here's Anderson. Shakes off the strong D and gets to the bucket for 2.
Really, the defense is helpless to stop a layup right there. Just too much of an advantage in terms of the mismatch.
Outside, Felton. Hood dishes to Stockton. Nice ball movement by Utah. Here's Silk, fended by West. And he gets it to go. And now it's up to 25 points for Silk.
And one last thought about Raymond Felton. I really feel like he's at that classic crossroads in one's career. If his conditioning is there, if he's healthy, he still has the skills and the moxie to make a difference. It just comes down to him wanting to make that effort, which gets harder after a decade of wear and tear on your body. And as we head to the final buzzer here, a crushing blowout. Big-time dominance, and this will go in the record books as a gaudy win for Utah.
And they could do no wrong today, Steve. That's right. This was a team performing to its Clark fullest capability.
Yes, very satisfying win for them, too. A game to remember, and on the other side, definitely one you want to forget as soon as possible.
And so this will now translate to 14 wins on the season.
They can chalk this one up, but these two teams will see plenty more of one another before the season's over.
And, Greg, we know familiarity breeds contempt. I would expect things to become more heated as these teams face each other going forward.
No surprise here, just a big-time performance for the Monster. Every time there was a big possession or a big play, he was a major contributor. Just a great all-around game.
Hood, the basket is good, the assist from Stockton.
And this is going to be a fantastic result for them. No win on the road comes easy.
Not in the NBA, they don't. And trust me, they're going to take a little extra pleasure in this win, having silenced an entire building of hostile fans.
Second shot opportunity, and 2 free throws coming up as he misses that one. Drawing the whistle and a lot of contact there.
All the officials are all over that one.
Clearly a foul. I mean, didn't give him any choice but to blow the whistle. I mean, you got to play without fouling.
That one is no good. Here's Silk. And so it's Utah easily grabbing the win. A resounding victory for them. And Greg in enemy territory, no less.
And that's exactly right. But with the way they controlled the game and just completely took the crowd out of it, that's how to get it done on the road.
And that's going to do it tonight, folks, for our broadcast. For Greg Anthony, Clark Kellogg, and Doris Burke, this is Kevin Harlan. Thanks for watching the NBA, presented by 2K Sports. Now it's time to head back to the studio with Ernie Johnson, Shaquille O'Neal, and Kenny Smith.
The 2K Sports postgame show.
Ernie Johnson again, folks, alongside Kenny the Jet Smith and Shaquille O'Neal. Time now to take a quick peek at our Jordan player of the game. He was the engine that drove this team the whole night, and his teammates had no problem harnessing the power of that motor.
A ton of his points were coming inside tonight. It really speaks to how aggressive he was in this game. If there was a path to the hoop, he was attacking. Love that kind of mindset in a backcourt or a wing player.
There was nothing they could do to slow him down, Ernie. Man, go into a building on the road and completely control the action like he did. Only a few players could do that, Ernie. I'm impressed.
And that'll do it for our broadcast tonight. Hope you enjoyed the show. For me and Kenny Smith, Shaquille O'Neal, and Kevin Harlan, and the entire 2K Sports crew, have a wonderful evening.